I want you to understand that if you are a speaker or orator or a motivational speaker or someone that talks in a classroom, a preacher, or any one of those type of professions where you're doing a lot of talking, it's important. It's important where you place your pitch, because a lot of times when people sit down here and they talk down here, it is so abrasive to the vocal cords. It's so abrasive. And you really, really don't want to do that. You really want to be mindful of how you are affecting your vocal cords and what it's doing. And so you can be effective and help yourself to get where you need to go. Okay? So we don't want to get that to start something like that for you. So we want to make sure that you're able to get this in and work, and it work for you. Okay. So without further ado, what I want you to do is take some nice deep breaths. All right. So when you're taking the breath, pardon my ironing board in the back. So when you're taking that breath, fill up through your mouth, fill up your entire rib cage. Entire rib cage, not just the front, also the back. So when you're filling up here, I'm not sure if you can see, I'm filling up and blow it out. Now I'm in a seated position. This is vitally, vitally, vitally important. When you are in a seated position, when you're driving your car, or when you are doing some things, I really want you to concentrate on filling up that air. If you can't do that and you're doing this, that's how you're going to get those shoulders. You don't want that. You don't want that. You have to breathe deeply. Deeply. I've been teaching band. I teach beginner band intermittently at one of the high schools here in New York. And I have been working with them on playing their instrument. Well, truth be told, you have to breathe the exact same way you sing is the exact same way you play. I have a lot of brass and woodwinds as students, and they have to do the same thing. You breathe deeply. Shoulders are going down. They're not going up. And get as much air in as you can. And blow out on S. That way you get all the air you need, and you need to use that. You can talk on that air for miles and miles of time. So I'll fill up now. And this way you can talk for a while and you can understand. You can be able to use what you need to do without taking a lot of breath. When you have to take a lot of breath, then you have to, it interrupts the phrase. And then think about what your phrasing is. You know what I'm saying? So I really, really, really want you to be mindful. Be mindful and cognizant of your breathing. Because if you are, you will go a long way in doing what you want to do. Okay? I'm just adding on something else. For those of you that have not been connected with us, the one thing I am going to ask you to do is join in. I have a a YouTube page that I do a lot of voice lessons on. Recently, I have them, but I have not uploaded new ones because I need to edit. And I'm not really good at that. I know younger ones are. So you inbox me on how to edit this stuff. I need to edit some of the videos of a few of my students so I can be able to just give you the meat and potatoes of the actual lesson, because when you're dealing with children, it is a proper way to deal with children. Everybody is not a one and done. You can't deal with all of them the same. Some of them have problems in hearing and understanding pitch and being able to find their pitch. A lot of them are rushing through, and they're trying to get through the song, and they're not with the beat and the melody of the song. They're listening to their karaoke's, but because they know the song, they don't necessarily think that that's what I need in order for me to get there. I really want them to, how you doing, Fallon? I really, really want them to understand that you have to slow down. Get your metronome. Use your telephone. You have so many apps on that telephone. And another thing, if you're trying to find out if you're singing on pitch or not, there are apps on there. And maybe later, because I just put the app, the tuner on my telephone for the instrumentalist, where you can sing and it'll tell you what pitch you're on. But there is an app on the phone, and I got to find it again, a singer's app, where they'll give you something to sing, and while you're singing there, they will then let you know how far you are off, or did you do well with it, or it's something you need to practice. You need to practice. Okay, when you're doing auditions, because I invited various communities, when you are doing auditions for various shows, it depends on what you're doing, and depends on the style. Today I'm going to go to a opera performance by Miss Monica, and when you're doing classical music versus Broadway music versus gospel music versus jazz music, that's 4 different techniques. Can't use all the same for everything. And choral singing pretty much go on the same line as classical. Okay? Yes, you have some things that are basic, where you do your breathing, you do your sounds, but it depends on what it is and what techniques you need at that time. By the way, if you have questions, I want you to type them in. That's why I set the camera up this way. Type your questions in, because I want to be able to help you to get to your to get to where you want to be, and be able to make that work for you. Okay? So now, Miss Fallon, what I'm going to let me see if I can bring you on, and we do like a little mini lesson really quick. You think you can do that? All right, let me see. I'm not really sure how to do the little thing. Do you see a button that invites you onto the onto the live, Fallon? All right. I can't seem to get you in. You know you can do it. But I don't see that button where I can invite you in, so you can be able to actually join me live like they would always do. Because if I do, I will definitely add you in there. Yeah, I don't see it either. That's the one thing I have a hard time with the with this on this computer. So they're gonna have to give me a whole little quiz on how to be able to do some of these things, because some of them will allow me to invite people in, and others it does not allow me to invite people in. So I wanted to be able to try to do that at this time, but that's okay. Another thing is, I really want you to I want you to do some things. How you doing, Christian? I want you to do some things with me now, and let's see if we can get you going. Okay, so I want you to do the breathing. And by the way, I did not warm up my voice this morning, so bring my kids in, Miss Christian. So I want you guys to we're gonna warm up voices together. Is that okay? So let's try it again. Fill up. Hands on your belly. Matter of fact, let me have you do this. Put one hand on your belly. Put one hand on your back. So you can feel the expansion. And I want you to breathe in slowly. Blow out on S. Rule number 1, make sure your posture is nice and tall. Nice and tall. Make sure your shoulders are down. Make sure you're standing stagnant if you're standing. If you're sitting, I'm sitting. So make sure that if you're sitting, make sure everything is there in alignment, because when you are squeezing the diaphragm, you're having a hard time being able to do what you need to get done. So fill that up again. All right? And blow out on S. Very good. Next thing I want you to do is those yawn sounds. The yawn sounds, early in the morning, everybody in the whole wide world has a low voice in the morning. And so the voice has to wake up. So before doing this lesson with you guys, I had to get up early because I knew that I was doing a lesson today, and I wanted to make sure that you had the opportunity of being able to be with me for the lesson so you can benefit from it. I can't benefit from you waking up early in the morning and then I'm not ready to give you what you need. I want you to give me the yawn sounds. What do I mean by yawn sounds? Those vocal folds are two folds that's here, and when you talk, the air strikes the vocal folds and then they flutter. They flutter, okay? So when the air go, ah, ah, and different pitches, you will see like a gap and it flutters. You can see from up top to the bottom of where your voice pitches are going there. All right. When you talk up here, which is a higher pitch, you're off of the vocal folds and it's not so abrasive. So sometimes when you hear people and they be like, oh my goodness, they're just such an actor. Yeah, they very well may be an actor, but they're doing some things for a reason. So I really want you to be mindful of how you're talking and practice it sometime. Okay. But let's go into those yawn sounds. Fill it up. Morning, Sammy. Fill up again. And bring up this sound a little more. You will find that it will wake up your voice. You do not have to be a singer in order to do this. This is waking up your voice, filling up those vocal folds, and getting things in alignment. All right, I want you to try it one more time, please. Notice that I am going higher and higher and higher. I don't want to be too loud. I understand I got neighbors, and I understand I have roommates here in New York. You need some roommates. So, I'm really trying to get it in alignment. Fill it up. Open your mouth and relax. Very good. Now, if you listen, I'm able to be up here and I can feel it. Please write in or type in to me if you actually feel what I'm talking about at this time. Let me know. I want to help you, so I got to see where you are. Okay? Oh, awesome. Okay? All right, so now, and keeping it going, now I want you to do some mouth exercises to relax the jawline. So, You see this? You remember the kids, they go, boop, 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 little ones. They were born making the sounds, and you could train a child from birth all the way up what to do with the voice. Now, they may not be able to match pitches, but if you actually listen to them, a child, as they grow, have a small range, and the range gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I have one niece. I don't know if you guys ever seen that video I have. It's called a Mommy and Me video. So that one niece, she was 1 at the time. She's 8 now. And as she was going through, I used to go, at 6 months, she said, ha! She finally was able to do it. She kept trying to do it at 0 to 3. 0 to 3, she kept going, and then before you know it, by the time she got 6 months old, she's able to go. So now I want you to take that. All right, try it again. I want you to fill it up and take your time and blow with it. And bring it back down. Okay? That's where we're going. I want you to do it one more time with me, please. And bring it back down. Now, that's relaxing the jawline. Yes, open your mouth, relax your jawline. Guys, this is so important, especially when you're trying to do some things. Have you ever heard those people that talk really, really fast and you don't understand exactly what they're saying, and they get really clear and articulate and they're going so fast and they use the commercials? Well, this is what they're doing to use and open and relax their mouths to get your articulators going. You have to be able to do something in order to get to that dimension. You cannot get there without understanding what you're doing. Okay? So now I want you to do that. Fill up the first one. And you notice that I keep going back to that. Now, I have children that always say, Miss Barbara, how can I possibly get that going and be able to sing like I need to sing? Okay? When you're singing, let me do something simple. My country, 'tis of thee. Please don't stop and go, no. While your mouth is open, you catch that air. My country, 'tis of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Now, that leads me to one more thing. I want to make sure you understand this concept first. The first one is, when you get through mastering breathing in your air, coming through your mouth, when you're singing, open your mouth to catch the air and then be able to do it again. Okay? Next thing. Not my country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my father died, land of the pilgrims. Okay, so now you have what we call phrasing. What is phrasing? Phrasing is being able to sing a sentence and it sounds well. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Now, if you can go, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. That way the phrasing sounds even better. I want you to try this. Make sure you guys are sharing these videos, because these are snippets and nuggets that you can use for a lifetime. And I want you to think about it. Record yourself. Record yourself so you can see what you're doing. Am I doing that? When I'm singing, am I being able to sing the music effectively and be able to get people to understand what it's like and what's happening? You need to make sure you're understanding that. Because if you are, and if you're doing that, and you're singing and phrasing will help you to get what you need to do. My country, 'tis of thee sweet. And I did that all in one breath. So let's see how much you can do on one breath. Let's see. I'm getting it in there because I'm preparing my air. My country, 'tis of thee sweet land of liberty. Of thee I sing, land where my fathers died, land. All right? So practice your phrasing. Look to see where you want to make that cutoff. And once you make that cutoff, then that way you can be able to get what you want and how you want it to do. How you want it to be. All right? Is that all right? So when you're able to do that, it will help you become more efficient and a heck of a lot better in how you're doing things and what you're doing. All right? I want to make sure you understand that, because the more you do it, the better off you'll be. All right, guys? So that's one thing I want you to know. Another thing, I'm trying to pull my YouTube live on with this while we're doing this. I hope that is any of this helping you. Please let me know. Hit the buttons below. 103424. Put it in the comments. Let me know if any of this is helping you. All right. So now, moving on. Now you know your breathing. You understand phrasing. La 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 da 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 da. All right. Okay. And the next thing is, once you are there, I just moved myself right out of this and it just went right back into it. Once you're there, I want you to go into, make sure, if I didn't talk to you about the other one, was catch how you're opening. When you're singing, sing with catching the air in. Let me give you a different song. Oh, say, can you see? Catch the air. By the dawn's early light. Catch the air while your mouth is open. What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming. Catch your air while your mouth is open. Okay? Now, next concept I want to talk to you about is how you stop singing so quietly and be able to project and get your voice to the other side of the room. Okay? That's one thing I want to talk to you about. All right? Now, when you are doing that, and one thing you need to hear and make sure you understand, because I want to make sure you get it. If you don't get it, you're going to miss it. All right? I want to make sure you understand how you're getting that voice over to the other side. Now, remember that air? Think about the dog or even a cat. Matter of fact, I think I don't know. I got to sort of study the other animals. And see how that works in there. But I want you to think about your air. So when you're doing the puppy pant is like, all right, that's a puppy pant. So when you're using that sound, there you go. Your sound gets louder and louder and louder. Barbara, how do I apply that to talking? Do I go talking and while you're talking? You are doing it, but you're doing it more subtly. So right now, I am able to project my voice and go louder and louder and louder. Truth be told, I am using my diaphragm to be able to do it. So the air is getting louder and louder because I'm taking the breath in through my mouth and my stomach is pushing it out. There's an exercise that I use in the gym. Very, very effective exercise. Very effective exercise. I use this in the gym. And if you sing with it in the gym, oh my gosh, it's going to help you 100%. It's that machine. You know what? I'm going to ask my roommate one morning. Matter of fact, we might be going this morning. I'll make a little video to videotape me on what I'm saying. We've been working on crunches. So it's the machine you sit on and you put your legs underneath and your abs are going in and out and you're coming down here. So I want you to practice that. Practice saying ha while you're doing it. Ha! 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 All right? Get the sound. Again, what am I doing? I'm strengthening my diaphragm. I'm strengthening that entire core so I can be able to do what I need to get done. Okay? I used to teach a young lady that was going out for Miss America. And I was helping her strengthen her core by, as she was laying down singing, as she was laying down, she came up and she had to sing doing it. Okay? So that is another technique to be able to help you. Last technique of the day, because I'm giving you all my good nuggets. You got to be able to respond back. Let me know what's helping you, what's not helping you. If it's not helping you, I want to know. This is for us to be able to help you get where you need to be. I want you to get there, but I can't get you there without you letting me know if this is benefiting you or not. Okay? So we want to get you to where you need to be. All right? Next thing. So let's talk. When you are doing, wait a minute. I lost my train of thought. When you're talking or when you're singing, I want you to try this. Open your mouth so people can get the sound out. Please don't try to sing so softly that you can't. I was listening to someone just did a tribute to Kobe. Beautiful voice. I think it was Usher. Now, Usher, he was singing softly and his mouth was closed. But when it was time for the belt, he had to open his mouth to be able to get out where he wanted to go. So I want you to be hi, Miss Amanda. I want you to be very, very mindful of how you get that sound out. So sing something. And when you sing, get it out. Open it up so you can be able to get that sound out and throw the sound across the room. So you can be able to go, ha, ha, ha. How are you doing that? Filling up that diaphragm and throwing that voice. I am changing. That will give you the belt you are looking for. You want to be able to get the belt. If the children are singing, have them to do that. Here's another technique. If you go on my videos on YouTube, I got like 4 sets of videos on YouTube. So one of the videos I'm lying on the floor. This technique works every single time. Lie on the floor. Put a book flat on your stomach. As a matter of fact, even on here, I had one of my roommates to come in and he demonstrated it for you. So if you have not seen all my videos here on Arts and CT, Free Voice Lessons Online, I want you to do that. Take some time and look to see the video so you can use the techniques. Techniques are there. Guys, listen, if you are looking and you want to do voice lessons, I do have and it's about to end. So if you have not signed up under Performing Arts Academy of Connecticut on my YouTube channel and not sent that email in that said, Barb, I want the free voice lesson, you will not get it. All right. Right now we have a couple people that have come in, and I want to make sure that they get that opportunity to be able to have that lesson. And we're going to do a free Skype lesson with them, and then we're going to upload that lesson later. All right. And we will be able to work on your challenges. Choosing a voice teacher. When choosing a voice teacher, how do I know if I'm getting a good voice teacher? Or how do I know if the teacher knows what they're saying? Or how do I know if they're going to benefit me? Now, over the years, now I've been doing this for 30 years. Over the years, I've had some students, and they've been with teachers, and the teacher got them to a certain point, and they were good with what the teacher had given them. However, there were some points that person needed to get to that teacher really wasn't able to develop them in. It is okay to have more than one teacher. How many people go to school and have the same teacher every single year? In order for you to develop and be a well-rounded individual, I encourage you to have more than one teacher. Learn the concept that one teacher is teaching you. Take it, hold it, digest it, transition to another teacher. I'll never forget Mary Whalen. She was with me 7 years. And I said, Mary, you have now completed your sessions with me, and I am now transitioning you to another teacher. Why? I want to stay. No. You've learned what you needed to learn from me. She had gotten to a point where she was able to use the techniques, and she can tell you this herself. She was able to use the techniques that I had given her, and she was able to apply them. But then she needed to get to another level and learn something different. And so when she transitioned to the other teacher, she once again came back and said, hey, you're right. I did learn something even different and something else from this other teacher. You want to be a well-rounded individual. You want to learn so you can grow. You can't grow if with the same person for the last 15 years. Yes, they're good. Yes, they know what they're doing, but try somebody else. Well, Miss Barbara, how do I find somebody else? Well, if the person that taught you have been able to show you proper techniques, when that other person starts talking to you, you know what proper techniques is. Not only that, you should be able to look some things up right in a book. How you doing, Miss Corrine? You should be able to look some things up, and it aligns with what they've been saying. Okay? So if you're doing the bell contour or contour, or if you're learning different belting techniques, or if you're learning different breathing techniques, or if you're using different moods to find placement, the frontal, the brightness, the resonators, some things are basic. You have to have those basic things in order to understand. Some people talk really about here. You have to bring it up to the front. It's as if you're pulling your face. And then you have some people talk right here all the time. Get on you, somebody. Relax. Drop. All right? And then now people can understand what you're doing. I have one student, and she is grown. I think she's like 30 years now. And she's still talking like this. Hi, Miss Barbara. But when she starts to sing, oh my goodness. You guys remember Miss Chalet? Miss Chalet has the same concept. She understands the concept when she starts to sing, but she never applied the concept when she tried to talk, which is why I tell you that voice lessons are not just for singers. If you have someone that have a speech impediment or who's struggling with speech, voice lessons are essential. I have had many people, therapists, go back to my students and say, listen, you are speaking so much clearer. What's going on? And the child says, oh, I'm taking voice lessons. And they're like, they're learning, what are they teaching you in lessons? And I go through and I keep a file on my students. So we can talk about where you are, because when you have so many students, you want to know where your students are. Qualities of a good teacher. What your students are learning. What do they need to do in order to grow so they can advance, so they can be able to get more of what they're learning, so they can be able to go farther. I'm going to do some of these voice lessons, master classes live on Saturdays. Right now, I got to find a venue. And if you know of a venue, let me know. So I can do master classes, so I can be able to help many of you get where you want to go. A lot of people aren't singers, so we might have to do 2 different sessions. One for people who just want to learn how to talk well, and one for those who want to sing, and then another one for those who want to audition, finding that right song, and is this song effective for me, and why don't you feel like this is not the right song. If you see somebody constantly sitting on their phone texting while you up there auditioning, that song is not moving them. If they don't ever raise their eyes up and look towards you, you know that's not quite the right song. Okay? You want to get an eye catcher. You want something that grabs their attention. You don't want to be, oh my goodness, we have heard this same song 100. Let it go. Please don't use let it go. Let it go may be used to teach you how to let it go, but you need to let that song go, because that's not effective. That's not going to be something that they want to hear again. Now, Speechless, which is was that from Aladdin. That's a good song. I know that what's the child name? She just went. My mind, I'm trying to talk to y'all and remember my students at the same time. Olivia. Olivia wanted to use that song. There are different parts of that song I would use for an audition. If you catch and you start the whole song, you only got 16 bars to do. You got to be able to catch them right at the very beginning. Get something. Start them, get an eye catcher at the very beginning, because they're only going to give you like four beats in for you before they be like, okay, thank you very much. You got to be able to go. Also, find out what your range is. Find out what your range is, so you can be able to go with it. Okay? If you're using your head voice is up here. So if you're singing, know where you are. Know what you're doing. Know what you're trying to do. Understand what your goal is so you can accomplish that goal. When you're doing voice lessons, understand what the goal is. Ask the teacher, what's the goal? Your teacher could have you set up where they're still trying to diagnose you. A voice teacher sort of sets up, especially when you're first coming to them, it's like going and getting a exam at the doctor's office. They're listening to you. They may ask you to sing something. They want to know where you are, what you're doing, what it is that you can do. How can they help make you better? They want to know these things. And they're asking you questions. They're listening to your voice. And hi, Miss Lily. I want you to be able to hear what they're saying. Go into a lesson. When you're paying $100 an hour for a lesson, don't come in there with no paper. You got to have paper. You use your telephone, record something. At $100, You better take that lesson with you, practice with that lesson for the rest of the week. I have one set of clients, I work with them for an hour and a half, and that's still not enough. And they're young, 8 and 12. I think they're 8 and 12 or 8 and 11 out of Texas. By the way, I do voice lessons all over the world. I have Australian voice students. I have some Asian voice students over in China. So we have different lessons, and I'm up all times of day and night trying to be able to help as best as I can. But listen, if you want to have a lesson, we can do that. You want your one-on-one lessons? Send me inbox me. Send me a message. That's what I'm here for. I want to help you get where you want to be so you can be an effective master at what you're accomplishing. Okay? If you're talking and you're doing a lot of teaching, and you ever heard people constantly going hoarse? Let me ask you this. Name, if you have heard, because I've never heard of it, name a baby, a newborn baby. When they come into this world, they are screaming and crying. Developing vocal cords immediately, because that's the first time they open their mouth. You don't have them in there hollering inside your womb. They quiet. They're quiet. They may kick you and beat you up a little bit, but they're quiet. Now, if they not, let me know. By the way, I've never had a kid. I'm telling you from all the folks talking, put some notes down here. Tell me. I would like to know, because I have seen over and over again, even with my little niece, as big as she was when she came out screaming constantly. When a baby is crying, they are developing their vocal cords. Don't quickly shut them up so much, yes, but you want them to get those vocal cords. And then I have one niece who tries to be quiet now, but yet if you notice on Facebook, I've been starting to put little snippets on there, because now she's starting to show her acting ability. She has realms and realms because no one would listen to her, and we would turn a deaf ear. She thought, she said, ha, 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 ha. I was like, wow, Angel, you're an awesome singer, girl. You got some lungs, because she thought people weren't listening. Reality is, musically wise, I'm hearing everything she's doing, and I'm listening how the voice is developing. Okay, so when you're doing that, you watch how you use your air. Use your air. Use your rib cage, your entire rib cage. Fill it up. When you want more air, while your mouth is open, continue the sound. If you have a choir, whatever choir it is, if you want them to sing, I taught many of my children's chorus. I've had up to 1,000. I've had 1,000 kids in the children's chorus. That was in Southwest Florida for the big conference. And when you're having the kids to sing, they have to open their mouth. They have to articulate their words. Not just children, adults too. Because many times you guys are doing things and you think nobody's watching. So here, I'm going to help you out. You're going to make me a mini video. You're going to send it to me in my inbox so I can help you get where you're trying to go. You understand? So when you're at that here, another thing. Next thing. All right, I'm hot today. I thought I was going to cut off the 30 minutes, but I guess I'm still going. If this is helping y'all, can y'all let me know? Because I see y'all watching, but I don't see nobody saying anything. Is this benefiting anybody? Please let me know. All right. Another thing. When you're trying to get something, you got that lower gut. I call it the muffin top for me. So when you got that lower gut, I hit it immediately. Quick, fast air produces power, and it pop your voice out to the other side. Okay? Slow air, lower tones. Hi, Hello, everybody. How you're doing? All right. You're getting those tones in. You're working it. You're working your mouth, and you're being able to use the things. You're using softer air, smaller air. Use the puppy pants I talked about. Ha, ha. You want to build up your strength? You want to build up power in that voice? Use it. No sound. Ha, 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 ha. Little sound. Ha, 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 ha. Right sound. Practice it. Practice it. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. That will get you where you want to go in singing and in talking. Okay? So I need you to understand the things that I'm teaching you today. So let's just do a recap of the things we talked about. First, we talked about your breathing. All right? We told you to breathe in through your mouth, filling up your diaphragm. We told you if you have not taken the time to sign up on my YouTube videos, make sure you do. If you want to know, I got 4, yes I do. But if you want to know which one I recommend, I think you need to sign up under the one that says Performing Arts Academy of CT. I think I got 1,300 followers at this time. And on there, I do gifts, giveaways, and all kinds of things. So if you want to be a part of that, and you want to get the techniques, and you want to see videos of other people doing some of the work that we're doing now, this year's the first year I'm starting some of these master classes because I'm reopening up other businesses and getting many things established, and board of directors will be overseeing and taking over Arts in Connecticut, and this year is the largest board of directors that we've ever had. So if you want to know what's more and what's happening at Arts and CT, you're going to have to stay tuned. A lot of these things are changing right before our very eyes, okay? I'm not necessarily stepping completely away from it, but it's being orchestrated by a group of people that have a passion to be able to give back to the community in the arts. All right. And we want to see it grow. We want to see it get bigger and bigger. We need more grants. We need more funding. And we can't do that without the help of people. Another thing I know I meant to tell you all, Arts and CT has moved from 60th Reed Street, which was the school. Everybody is out of the building now. This church is taking over the building. They want to do some things with it so they can get the proper zoning and things like that. Which was something that was a major issue when we were there. They definitely have to get some things under control. So I totally agree with it. It's their school. I'm not upset. We appreciate all that they've done for us. They've been a phenomenal host for Arts and CT. That's where our start and footing was. We are now transitioning down the street to 35 Matthew Street is where we're going to be having some classes. If you have not heard about the crochet class that's formulating right after the new board is instituted, a lot of the classes will resume back. I am not positive if we are going to be able to get summer camp in this summer, but I will talk to them about that to see where we are. Okay, so just last rehash, and then I'm going to let you guys go. I really want to know if this was beneficial for you. I want to make sure you understand your breathing. I want to make sure you understand how to project your voice and how to be able to do a belt. Projection and belt is all up in the same realm and area. I also want to make sure you understand how to take a breath while you are talking. You can't stop and go, and then no, that looks crazy. You can't do that. All right. So I need to make sure you understand how that works so you can work your voice. Okay. Another thing, I want you to understand how to use your articulators. You have to articulate your words so people can understand what you're talking about. Be mindful of what you're saying. Think about what you're saying and then be able to do it. We're going to do tongue twisters the next time I come on here. And those tongue twisters will help you to get yourself to be able to speak faster and for your sound to be understood, and people can be able to read your lips. If you were to turn me down, can you read my lips? Can you understand what I'm saying? So I really want you to think about how all of this will come into play and how it will benefit you. Okay? Are there any questions? Nobody have any questions? Make sure you share this video. All right, share the video. I will try to come on. I can't guarantee that I will send you a message, and I'm going to notify you a week in advance when I come on again, so I can be able to give you an online voice lesson again. I am Barbara Alexander with Arts in Connecticut. This has been the free masterclass voice lesson, and we will do one free master live lesson in Connecticut, and then we will do one right here in New York City. And I will be setting that up. Thank you so much, Miss Fallon. So I'll be setting that up, and I will let you know, and I will notify you early in advance of the free masterclass here in New York City. I just need to go across the street to find out what the availability is of the hall so we can be able to help you. Okay? Thank you so much. This has been a masterclass for you. Please like our video and share. Thank you. Bye.